Hello, wanted to do a video about gold because obviously the NFP data came out, um, and I just wanted to kind of put my thoughts about it out there. I really wanted to do a live stream, honestly, because I just realized that a lot of the way that I'm doing these videos, I mean, I don't edit this shit. Um, I'm rambling most of the time, just giving my thoughts out there. Hopefully whoever watches this finds it useful, but so I want to do a live stream. Actually, I think that's probably what I'm going to start doing. I just haven't figured out how the hell to do it yet, so that's why I'm just recording a video now. But the data came out now about 36 minutes ago. The non-farm payrolls data. In case you weren't aware, it wasn't like terrible, but it was basically not probably what as high as maybe people were expecting. It was lower than the forecast. If we look, let's go to investing.com. Forex Factory has been really slow for me today. I guess it's just people trying to get the data, but anyway, yeah, it just oh, here we go. Sorry, non-farm payrolls here. Yeah, it was slightly lower at 559,000 than the actual forecast itself. And obviously it wasn't like crazy like compared to what we saw in April. But I think the general sentiment, especially after the initial jobless claims yesterday going below 400K, I think people were kind of expecting a bit more. Also with the ADP data, and it didn't really deliver. And albeit not not crazy. It's not like the 270 versus the 900 whatever it was in April. So, but I'm going to quickly discuss what this means, what I was kind of looking for, how I initially set myself up for this big data, and what I'm going to what I'm now doing as a result of the data that's come out, and how I'm kind of just viewing everything. Has anything changed? Et cetera, et cetera. Okay. One thing that I do want to ask is if you like this content, please give it a like. It helps. I'm really stoked. I actually got 100 subs. I have no idea who these people are, but if you like any of the content I'm doing about gold or crypto and other markets, especially down the road, yeah, let me know. And I'm going to start doing live streams instead of these videos because I think live streaming is probably just easier. Yeah, and it's going to be cool to hang out with people. All right, so as I mentioned, the data came out slightly lower than the forecast I was expected, but it wasn't like crazy. It just kind of basically what the data was saying more than anything is just that, the American economy is recovering, but it's just not recovering like at crazy levels. Okay, like it's I think like sometimes there's this narrative in a lot of the media, a lot of the finance media that it's getting really overheated for some reason, but like this kind of data shows you that it's probably not, and that's why we keep on missing. Also, like people's expectations are that the jobs data is going to be way higher than it is, and then when it comes out like in April and also today, like it's kind of underwhelming a little bit, and I think we're seeing that here, reflecting in the price of gold and obviously in the DXY. As we can see, we've seen a big drop, on the DXY, this 90.7 level was definitely something that I was eyeing, this area in this box here. And we almost got there based off the news yesterday, but then with the news today, now we're seeing this pretty strong drop. And this news, more than anything, what it does is it doesn't reaffirm necessarily my bullishness in gold necessarily, but more than anything, it reaffirms my bearishness on the dollar, because what this basically means with this data, right, is that yes, the economy is recovering, but it's not recovering nearly as fast to the point where that, especially with the Fed, given their general stance right now, they're not going to increase interest rates anytime soon. Like I just don't think that's going to happen. And this data, I think, also kind of foreshadows a little bit the Fed meeting that's coming at the middle of the month in June, right? And I expect the Fed just to continue their general narrative of, we're going to keep interest rates really low, and that's just going to result in a very bearish dollar. and consequently also people also hedging their bets and buying gold. So yeah, I mean, uh, especially for somebody who's overall very bullish on gold in the longer term, yeah, obviously this data and the news that came out was good. So now to quickly discuss, like, how did I actually go about trading this news? Actually, I didn't really trade the news in the sense that I had all my positions closed, as I discussed in the previous video, just because, I just think it's too risky for me personally. It's not my style. It's just too risky to bet on the news like that. What I did do was I did set up some buy limits because obviously when the news came out, I'm looking at the 4-hour chart, by the way. So when the news came out, we were at a price range of around 1870, which was previous support, right, and resistance. So we have the box here drawn out. This was, it wasn't like the world's strongest support, definitely not as strong as something as 1850, but, it was clear that, we were consolidating there. And if there was anything which yesterday showed, it showed that 1850 was really a strong, strong point. I didn't personally buy this dip, not going to lie. I wish I did now, of course, but I didn't buy it just because I was concerned about the news, you know. I was concerned that it was going to just go so against me. So what I actually did was today I did have a buy limit set around here. Just because of the strong bounce that we got, I thought, okay, maybe we'll see that bounce, and I had a stop loss set as a result. But because the news came out, relatively bullish, or actually more importantly, really bearish for the dollar, we didn't get that drop, right, that people were expecting. I think a lot of people were expecting a sell, and we just didn't get it. Instead, we got this, nothing crazy, but like a pretty strong buy side move, and you can see the candle here. And most likely we're probably going to continue this. I assume we're going to continue this run a little bit more, at least until like 1890 to 1895, where, that was the next kind of, previous support when we broke over 1900, and also resistance over here. Around here. Resistance over here. So that's probably where I expect the price is going to go in the short term. And so what I actually ended up doing is when I saw that the news came out and I waited a bit, I actually opened the position at around 1880, around this box, going long on gold. Just because, yeah, it was kind of like confirmation there, and it wasn't crazy. So like it didn't seem like crazy swings were going to happen. So I just decided to open the long position there. And so far it's working out, but again, like for me, it's not really also about these short-term profits, but I'm planning to hold this at least until, past 1900 and going again towards those 1920 and 1960 price levels that we had previously talked about before, like here and here, right? The reason, by the way, that this box was red is just because initially when the news was pretty bearish for gold yesterday, I was actually eyeing this level, because of previous of kind of like the choppy price action here and this kind of consolidating here. I was actually eyeing this level as potentially a short if we actually managed to see price raise back up to that point, um, previously in the day. But we didn't get that. We just got this consolidation here, and now, if anything, we're kind of just like breaking through that 1880 level, and price action here. So if anything, I think this is going to hopefully become new support. So I'm going to actually change this green right now. So what would be really nice to see, like on the 4-hour chart, or let's go to the 1 hour actually. On the 1 hour chart is, I'm going to just kind of draw this out with where's the pen tool? Oh, here we go. What would be really nice to see is if we actually get some sort of price action where we go up to like 1890 or whatever, and then we actually come test back down a bit to maybe like 1885 or something like that, and kind of make this previous level support, and then do that continuation move, right? That classic step move pattern. That would be really, really good to see. But let's see what happens. It's really hard to say. And also, obviously, the U.S. is going to be, people are going to start waking up, and U.S. is going to really start trading in about 15 minutes. So we got to see how they react to also this news. So I'm sure people were paying attention. Let me just remove that for now, just because it's kind of in the way. I'll get rid of those little dots later. So yeah, like I said, in the short term, the key level that I'm kind of looking for is right now in terms of resistance is this kind of area here. Sorry, no, that's not. That's a little too high. I'll move the box in a bit. I am kind of looking at this 1890 to 1895 level, which acted like previous support and resistance before. Make this red. So let's see if we actually get the momentum to really reach those targets. I do expect some sellers to come out, but again, like I said, that will probably be good if we get to that point, get rejected a bit, but then maybe either make 1890 support or 1885 or something like that, and then kind of continue on from there, or see some sideways consolidation and then continue pushing forward. But again, I just think that this news overall, the NFP data, while not terrible necessarily, like last month in April, it just reaffirms like my belief in the idea that bearish on dollar, interest rates aren't going to be raised, anytime soon, and it just means that gold's probably going to go higher. Would I look to add to my position that I opened at 1880 at any point in the future? Certainly, especially if we see that price action like I was just mentioning before, where we reach up to this 1890 or 1895 level and then kind of retrace a bit, I would definitely also be interested in adding into my position at the pullback, maybe either if that's at like 1890 or 1885. I'm not really sure. I like to hold these positions a lot longer. So I would definitely be considering that, but at this moment in time, I'm not going to try and chase this price right now. That would also not be that smart. So let's see how everything plays out, and especially once the U.S. opens. But yeah, I will definitely look to be adding to my position once there's a bit more like consolidation, or it's like some more confirmation in the price, to make me comfortable in taking a risk there. Okay. But yeah, overall, in conclusion, it's looking pretty good for gold, and frankly speaking, looking good for anything really against the dollar. Okay. Another one currency pair that I'm definitely starting to also get more and more interested in is the pound dollar, and I will do a lot more research into that. I've been obviously I primarily trade gold and crypto, but I'm looking into other markets, silver as well, which I'm sure, unfortunately, like I was hoping in the video I said yesterday that we would get to see price go down a bit more to like here if the news was bad or bullish for the dollar. We didn't get that. So yeah, maybe this is a good time to finally take a punt on silver. I'll think about that more. But also like currency pairs like the pound versus the dollar, I just think like there's probably some really good opportunities there right now as a result of the dollar just being so bearish. Meanwhile, the pound is quite strong at the moment. So I'm definitely interested in some positions there. And I think you guys, especially if you guys are coming from crypto, where crypto is still kind of in the sideways place, start looking into these markets, because it's definitely interesting and there's definitely opportunities there. Anyway, guys, hope that would prove to be somewhat useful. Let me know if you have any questions, or let me know if you disagree with what I'm saying. I'm happy to talk this out. Take care, guys.